So today we're talking about something that honestly just made my entire day. In a world where celebrity news is constantly filled with drama and scandal, sometimes we need a sweet, wholesome story. And that's exactly what we've got with Jessa Duggar and Ben Seewald celebrating their 11th wedding anniversary. All right, so Jessa and Ben just celebrated their 11th wedding anniversary on Saturday, November 1st. And the way they celebrated? It's absolutely perfect and so relatable. Jessa posted on Instagram, showing Ben sitting in their car in a grocery store parking lot, dressed up in a sport coat, eating a pint of Graeter's black cherry chocolate chip ice cream straight from the container. Her caption was just chef's kiss. Celebrating 11 years with you, baby. There's nothing quite like sitting in a grocery store parking lot eating pints of ice cream with your favorite person in the whole wide world. Can we just appreciate this? This is a couple who has been married for 11 years, has 6 children together, and they're celebrating by sitting in a parking lot eating ice cream. No fancy restaurant, no expensive gifts, just the two of them, ice cream and a parking lot. And honestly, that's beautiful. Drop a comment below. What's the most low-key way you've celebrated an anniversary? Because I bet a lot of you can relate to this. For those who don't know, Jessa is one of the Duggar daughters from 19 kids and counting on. She's 32 now, Ben is 30. They met through their families at church in 2013 and got married on November 1st, 2014 in Bentonville, Arkansas. Since then, they've been busy. They now have 6 children. Spurgeon, who's 9, Henry, who's 8, Ivy, who's 6, Fern, who's 4, George, who's 22 months, and their youngest, Eddie, who was born this past July 26th. So Eddie is only about 3.5 months old right now. 6 kids in 9 years! That's a lot of chaos and exhaustion. So the fact that they carved out any time to celebrate their anniversary is already impressive. But here's where it gets better. Jessa and Ben posted a YouTube video Monday showing more of their celebration. Turns out the parking lot ice cream was just the beginning. They actually went on a weekend getaway to Branson, Missouri. But here's the thing. They took baby Eddie with them. Jessa said in the video, "It will be fun to have 2 nights away. Of course, we'll be taking Eddie with us." So they dropped off their other 5 kids at Grandma's house for the weekend and headed to Branson with their 3-month-old in tow. If you're enjoying this, smash that like button. It really helps the channel grow. They showed their hotel suite and explored the area. There's this sweet moment where Jessa is filming a fountain with a Christmas tree and says, "Everything I see, I'm thinking the kids would love that." That's parenthood right there. You can't enjoy something without thinking about how your kids would react. They had a celebratory dinner at the Osage Restaurant at Big Cedar Lodge. Ben was impressed, saying, "This place is epic. The atmosphere, oh my word, it's such a unique place." During their trip, they encountered rainy weather one day, so they stayed inside and watched a movie. Later, they grabbed an umbrella and went out for crêpes and rolled ice cream. And Jessa made this hilarious comment about how they're not used to late nights anymore. She said, "I told Ben, I said, we're absolutely wild. We're leaving the hotel at 7:45 at night to go get ice cream. We rarely ever go anywhere at 7:45 at night anymore. 7:45 p.m. feels like a wild late night to them now. That's what having 6 young kids does to you. Your whole sense of time changes. By 7:45 with young kids, you're usually deep in bedtime routines or collapsed on the couch yourself." Here's what I love about Jessa and Ben's approach. They're not trying to recreate what anniversaries looked like before kids. They're embracing where they are in life right now. Sitting in a parking lot eating ice cream? That works for them now. Taking the baby on their getaway? That's their reality. And instead of being disappointed, they're finding joy in these simple moments. I think there's something important here about managing expectations in relationships, especially with children. So many couples put pressure on themselves for perfect date nights or anniversaries. And when reality doesn't match expectations, baby gets sick, you're too tired, can't get a babysitter, they feel like they've failed. But Jessa and Ben show you can celebrate your relationship in whatever way works for your current season of life. The parking lot ice cream might not be what they'd have done in year 1, but 11 years and 6 kids later, it's perfect. They've been intentional about marking milestones throughout their marriage. Back in 2021, for their 8th anniversary, Jessa posted this adorable recreation photo. She shared a throwback from their dating days posing in a train window, then posted a new photo in the same spot, but now with their 4 kids. The caption said, 8 years and 4 kids later. Let's talk timeline. They met in 2013, married in 2014, and started having kids quickly. Spurgeon was born in 2015, Henry in 2017, Ivy in 2019, Fern in 2021, George in 2023, and Eddie in 2024. They've basically been in the baby/toddler phase continuously for their entire 11-year marriage. Most couples have some years as just a couple before kids, or they space children out more. But Jessa and Ben have been on a continuous cycle of pregnancy and raising small children their entire marriage. And yet they're still making time for each other, still prioritizing their relationship, still clearly in love. I also appreciate that they share their real life on social media and YouTube. The parking lot ice cream? That's real life. Taking the baby on your trip? Real life. Being too tired for late nights? Real life. That authenticity is valuable rather than some polished, unrealistic version of marriage and parenthood. They're clearly still very much in love after 11 years and 6 kids. The way Jessa talks about Ben, calling him baby, saying he's her favorite person in the whole wide world, that's genuine affection. That's a couple who genuinely enjoys each other's company and chooses each other every day. Marriage is hard. Marriage with 6 young children, even harder. There are sleepless nights, financial stress, endless laundry and dishes and diapers. Moments when you barely have time to talk because you're just surviving the chaos. It would be easy to drift apart, to become just co-parents rather than romantic partners. But Jessa and Ben are maintaining that connection. They're making time for celebrations, even if those celebrations look different than imagined. They're showing you can have a strong marriage in the midst of raising a large family. Here's my final thought. In a world where we're bombarded with highlight reels and perfect-looking relationships on social media, there's something refreshing about a couple who sits in a parking lot eating ice cream and calls it a celebration. There's something real about admitting 7:45 p.m. feels like a late night. There's something honest about taking the baby on your anniversary trip, because that's just what life looks like right now. Jessa and Ben show us that lasting love isn't about grand gestures or perfect moments. It's about showing up for each other day after day, finding joy in simple things, and choosing each other even when life is messy and exhausting. What's your biggest takeaway? Do you think simple celebrations can be just as meaningful? How do you keep romance alive with young kids? Let me know in the comments. If you made it to the end, thank you! Hit that like button and share this video. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications on for more content coming your way. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you in the next video.